This is dangerous. Very, very dangerous to say something like that. You don't have hip hop, R&B, the creation of what it is. You don't have majority of pop music today without soul music, which is at the foundation gospel music. You don't have it.
It's not for low musical intelligence.
What's up, y'all? This is A.Randolphmusic with the qualified speak. Let me put that right there. The qualified speak. It's time, y'all. It's where we honor talent over business, talent over the entertainment. There's a difference. This is the qualified speak, man. I'm happy to be here with just a little qualified moment. I had to come sit down. I had to get my mind right for this particular situation because this thing is bothering me, y'all. It's bothering me. It's on my heart. It's on my mind, very heavy. If you look at my page, I say I fight for soul. Some people laugh when I say that, but I see a problem coming, and I don't want this to be a problem. Years ago, I think it was a session we was in, and we were having a conversation. I'm not going to call who it was. We was having a conversation, and the person stated something that really bothered me, okay? It bothered me. They said, we need to separate. We was having a long conversation, you know what I'm saying? But out of the blue, they said, we need to separate church from soul, soul from gospel. And it was talking about separating all that from popular music, hip hop. It was a long drawn out conversation. Now, you know what I'm saying? That pissed me off back then, but this was years ago. You know what I'm saying? Didn't think about it. No big deal, because this was well before you have all of this stuff going on the internet, right? So then, recently, scrolling down post, and somebody said something to the same. It was the same thing. Like, let's separate. They said it a different way, of course, but let's separate church, gospel. Pretty much they're saying let's separate it from the music style, like moving church out of what we have today as far as music. And I'm wait a minute, no. Wait a minute. Now we mad. Now we getting angry out here. This is a problem. This is dangerous. Very, very dangerous to say something like that. That's crazy. You cannot separate gospel from soul. You just can't do it. I'm sorry. This is dangerous. Very, very dangerous to say something like that. That's crazy. You cannot separate gospel from soul. You just can't do it. I'm sorry. This is dangerous. Very, very dangerous to say something like that. That's crazy. You cannot separate gospel from soul. You just can't do it. I'm sorry. You can't separate the church music stuff. I'm talking about in the Black American journey of church and gospel music and soul. That is what makes up soul. It's the component, the foundation of what makes up soul music. You just can't separate it. I'm sorry. That brings, at the same time, jazz and blues together. You can't. So I'm trying to figure out, wait a minute, where are we going? Where are we going with this? Like, what are we doing? Why do we have to even do this? I understand the idea. Some people dislike the religious issues. Some people dislike what's going on with the pastors, and they trying to get away from the church and all this type of stuff. Listen, let me tell you something, man. I understand. There's some things that got to be talked about, right? But at the end of the day, let me explain this to you. You cannot separate gospel, church from soul, which soul is hip hop. Soul is R&B. Soul is what you have in pop music right now. Let's make sure we got a clear understanding. Go call your grandma, go call your auntie, go call your uncle, great granddaddy, and they will explain this to you. Don't you ever try to take away these two things. And let me explain this to you. When I thought about it, I say, wait a minute. It's time to put some respect on the gospel situation. It's time to put some respect on the gospel name. I'm talking with compassion right now. We got to, listen, it's honored among the BETs and the black culture and all that type of stuff. It's honored among these particular people, but it's time to put it on VH1 when we had the awards and the MTV awards and the Grammys and all that. You got to make sure. I think the Grammys do something, whatever, but the rest of the awards, anytime you talk about what's happening today in popular music, you have to go back to the foundation of gospel music and soul music, spiritual music. Because guess what? Everything that you have, they got to come over to the church to come get them boys. They got to come get them boys from the church. The melodies, them soulful melodies, the way that they sing it, them singers from the church, the way that they write it, that's got to come. You got to come, hey, you got to come pick them up and say, hey, man, come give me that. And if you don't know, I'm trying to help maybe the consumers, maybe you didn't know, maybe you didn't understand, but you can't separate it. You can't separate it. That's dangerous, or you won't have anything that feels right or feels good in music if you take away the soul. And let me just kind of explain the history of how this works. You know what I'm saying? At the root of who we are, you're talking about Africa. Okay, it was called a different name at that particular time, but let's say the tribes. These are specific tribes that came over here, spread out through the Americas. When these particular tribes come to America, something special takes place. Something special takes place in this gospel music situation that explodes into what you have today. Remember, these people were still working in the church and doing different things. When you talk about Aretha Franklin and James Brown and all these different things, you got to go listen to their conversation if you want to hear the truth. They're going to tell you that all of the majority of this influence came from the church and what they were doing already in the church. And we're going to flip this thing. You know what I'm saying? That's how that works. So you got that root, that foundation, and then you have all these different genres that come out of that. You know what I'm saying? So put some respect on the name. Put some respect on the name, y'all. And so what we have today is a lot of people which have been influenced by the music of gospel, might not even know that that's what they're being influenced by. We say soul music, right? But at the end of the day, being influenced by a lot of the gospel things that are happening in the church. So one thing I would say, people that come from that particular place, they know when you got the soul element, and when they know when you don't. They know when you imitating. I don't know what it is, how it is. This is something that we don't even talk about. You know what I'm saying? You can look on YouTube, do your thing, figure it out. Try to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And we happy for that. But at the end of the day, like we know, oh yeah, yeah, he got it, or he don't have just he don't have that thing. It's that thing. Like aunties used to say that, yeah, he ain't got that thing, that soul. He ain't got that thing. I don't know what it is, but they know. They know when you got it and when you don't. You know what I'm saying? So most of the people, when you hear their stories, they say, well, yeah, we went down there to the church and we sat there and listened to them boys play. Or we listened to the preacher preach. We listened to the audience and the congregation and how they did what they did. We mimicked. We did what we needed to do in order to, get that essence of that feeling. That spiritual grab is something that takes you to another place. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's very hard to explain. And most people don't really explain it. The term was created, but it's really never explained. Like, well, what is that? What does that mean? There's a play. Like it to me, it's different. Now, listen. This is up for debate for most of my people. Some of this is up for debate. I stand on most of what I say. Some of this is up for debate. You know what I'm saying? But tell me something different, especially some of my qualified people. My historians, my musical historians. Let me know if I'm wrong. If y'all feel like I'm wrong, let's have a conversation about it. But at the end of the day, man, there's some respect that got to be put on the name of gospel with soul. It's got to be like on a, I don't see it enough on the secular side. I see it when we in the gospel situation. We know what it is and we talk about it. We know exactly what it is. And some people kind of be shy about it. I never was shy about it. I never was shy about it. I don't understand that with certain musicians, certain people like, nah, what I'm saying? I ain't telling. No, I like, yeah. We do this in church. This is what we did. I used to get in studio sessions. Yeah, you want the church chorus, don't you? Because they try to name it something else. Like, come on. That's what you want. I want that fit. No, this is what we do in church. Like, stop playing. I always stood on that. But at the end of the day, y'all, and I'm just saying that I just want to put this out there in the atmosphere, wherever it goes, and just to teach people, showing it's all love. It's all love, y'all. Teaching people, yo, at the end of the day, you cannot separate it. Don't try to separate it. Please, let's not get into that, man. And let's not allow the industry to separate what's church and gospel. Like, I get it, man. We want to, get rid of certain things in the religious situation. Maybe I listen, that ain't the conversation I'm having today. Right now, let's not play games. Let's not separate that. Now, wait. Now, let me explain this to you because it just hit me. For those of you, oh man, this a tough one here. Oh, this a tough one, man. This gonna hurt right here. Oh boy. For those of you that actually believe that hip hop, R&B, popular music could be separated from soul music. No, let me say it a different way. You don't have, listen, let me explain this to you. You don't have hip hop, R&B, the creation of what it is. You don't have majority of pop music today without soul music, which is at the foundation gospel music. You don't have it. So let me explain this to people. In the beginning of hip hop, all right, at the creation of hip hop has to use something called turntables, the DJ equipment, samples. Hip hop has to use these things, right? A sample, for those that may not know, is when you take a piece of something that's already created, a piece of a song that's already done, and you take that piece of the song and you just loop it. So if James Brown had a song and he started the song with the drums, you looking for that special part where the drums were played by itself, and you just take that part of the beat and you're going to loop it. You're going to loop it over and over and over. And that creates an entire another, like, you can rap over that, you can talk over that, but you can't do anything without the first creation. It's not by itself like, okay, nah, we created some type of, no. You can't do anything without the first creation, which is soul music. Parliament P Funk. Man, I'll go down the list. We'll be here all day. You have to go back and get the music first. So you don't have any of the music that you have now without that element. Now, you got technology came in and started allowing people to make beats or things for this particular music that is now known as our popular music. But guess what? When they need that vibe, they got to go find them boys. They got to come talk to the boys, the boys and the girls and the boys over here at the church. They got to come to the gospel people. You got to come to the gospel people because they got that thing that you got to put on these songs. Majority of the beat makers got to come over here to the church because they don't necessarily, most of it don't play. They don't sing, most of them. And then, no, listen, that ain't no jab or nothing like that. I'm just letting you know that's the truth. That's the reality. So they got to come over here to get the writers, to get the feel, to get the ideas. When we listening to a song, we can tell you, like I said before, we can tell you exactly when the people have used anything that comes from the riffs of the church. Listen, this is why we say the qualified speak, man. This is why we doing this. We got to say the qualified speak so people can understand it. And y'all excuse my tone. I apologize. You know what I'm saying? But we're just trying to make sure we get the message out there. Listen, that's all I got for today. I just wanted to make that known. I just want to set that standard. We're going to be doing some standard setting. We're going to be doing some stuff where we talk about it the right way and make sure everybody understand it from, and you say what, I was going to say something. I ain't going to say that. Listen, I'm going to behave on that. Listen, at the end of the day, this is the qualified speak. This is brand new for some of y'all, but y'all make sure y'all go check out the other videos, man. And we just learning. We learning together. We teaching, but we learning at the same time, man. Listen, like I told y'all, holla at me, hit me up in the DMs. Make sure you follow, subscribe, and do all that first now. But hit me up. You got a comment, you got what you want to say, hit me up. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. We good out here. I'm good. Something else came to mind. Wait a minute. Something else came to mind. Let me, I'm putting it all out there tonight. I'm putting everything on the table. Let me see how to say this. There is no other genre on earth. Ooh. I'm finna say it. I'm trying to stop myself from saying the wrong thing. But there is no other genre on earth like gospel music, which requires you to be it requires the top level of talent in all facets of it. Okay. Understand what I mean by that. Only gospel music requires it's a different genre. There is no genre on earth like gospel music. In the requirement on the level of talent. I think I'm saying that right. The requirement. There is no other genre on earth. You let me know if you know another genre. Somebody might say jazz. Jazz, you know the song ahead of time. You know what you got to do. You might, You might have to know how to solo. You got to know some chops. You got to know your thing. But Black American gospel music is literally probably 5 different genres in one genre. That's crazy. You got quartet. You got probably now praise and worship music, which is its own thing. You got choir music, the slow and the fast. Then you got what else? We got all different types of styles. So what happens with gospel music is you take every single style of music and you put it into one specific song. You can do 5 styles of music in one song. Every style. You have to know every style of music. It's crazy. I know it's just the weirdest thing. But you can do on one album 5 different genres. On one album in gospel music. And so what I'm speaking to is the moments and how you have to be prepared more than anything. Like you don't have to experience a mother getting up in any other genre. A mother getting up just singing out of nowhere, and now your ear got to be put to work. The training of the ear has to be at top level, top tier. I don't know any other genre that's like that. And y'all saying, yeah, you just saying all this because you come from that. That's where you. No, I'm not. I'm listening. I'm gonna tell you. I got my Hispanic friends, Chinese friends. We all together because music brings all of the cultures together. My white friends, all of them, everybody, and they will tell you, nah. Y'all let me know if I'm lying. They're gonna tell you that nah. Listen, you get into that church stuff, that gospel music stuff. It's a different beast. Listen, man. I gotta. When you get into that church stuff and that gospel music stuff, it's a different beast. Okay, I'm gonna leave that right there, because we're gonna have to come back and do a whole another segment on that. I'm gonna talk to my boys and we're gonna see if we can get together on talking about that. Listen, this is the Qualified Speak. I love y'all. Listen, we learning, like I said, we learning, we teaching everything together. Talent before the business. The Qualified Speak. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do the whole 9. Once again, I can't say it enough. I love y'all. Thank you. Qualified.
It's not for low musical intelligence.
Joe.